Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today's review is going to be of the Nubian palette by Juvia's Place. This is a very beautiful palette. I had never tried anything from Juvia's Place before, and right before Easter they had a big sale, and so I got a couple palettes. I've been testing them out for you and I'm ready to review this palette, so let's go ahead and start the demo and then jump into the review. So I have already primed and I set the primer with the Wet n Wild Brulee shade. Unfortunately, this palette doesn't have any shade names, so going into this shade, I'm just going to put this into my crease and my outer V. Taking a smaller brush, I'm going to go into this shade and focus this on the outer corner and up into the crease. Taking a flat shader brush, I'm going to go into this shade right here and put this all over the inner half of the eye. Going into this shade right here, I am then going to put that right on top. Going into this dark shade on an angled brush, I'm going to use this as liner and then start to kind of like smudge it into this outer V. Taking that dark matte shade on a flat brush, I'm just going to take it and kind of flick it up. So I did go ahead and finish up the rest of the face and the eye look. So for the lower lash line, I took a combination of this shade and this shade. And then for the inner corners, I took a combination of these two right here. So this is the final eye look. Let's go ahead and start the review. So I had never tried anything from Juvia's Place before, and so I got a couple palettes, and I wanted to get a more colorful palette and then a more neutral palette, and obviously this is the more neutral palette. So Juvia's Place is a strictly online brand. Most of their products are very reasonably priced. I'd say that their price point is kind of like Morphe, where their palettes are generally in the $20–$25 range. They do have brushes and liquid lipsticks as well as blush palettes. Juvia's Place is a cruelty-free brand, and most of their products are vegan, but you would have to go on their website and see which ones are and which ones are not. This palette in particular is completely vegan. In this palette you do get 4 mattes, which are these two and these two, and then the rest are shimmer shades varying from like slightly shimmery to full-on like foiled type shadow. The packaging is just standard like cardboard packaging, but it does have a nice magnetic closure. The magnetic closure is pretty sturdy, so I have traveled with this and I haven't had any issues. I'm pretty sure this company is owned by women of color, which is really awesome, and so all of the art on the packaging are women of color, and I think that the art is gorgeous on all of the packaging. Just as an example, I also have the Saharan 2 palette, and the packaging is also gorgeous. I want to know what highlighter these ladies are wearing because it's gorgeous. So the packaging is very nice. There's nothing on the back or anything. I do think that it's a bummer that this palette in particular doesn't have any shade names. I do think this was the first palette they came out with though, so I don't know if that's a factor or anything, but I know the other palette I have does have shade names, but this one does not. Where most of their palettes have like the larger shadow pans, this has the smaller shadow pans. These are like standard eyeshadow pan size. All of these shades are absolutely stunning and they apply beautifully. The mattes blend out perfectly, and these shimmers, you don't have to have you don't have to have a glitter glue or a shimmer primer with any of these shimmers. They are absolutely gorgeous, and they look like this all day long. They have a phenomenal lasting power. Any look I've done with this palette I have thoroughly enjoyed, and I think that it looks absolutely gorgeous. This is the first time I did this look. Most of the time I do a look that I have done before just because, you know, it's easier to do something that you know, but I just wung this look today and I absolutely love it. Any look that I've done with it's gorgeous. The shimmers pop right off the lid. They look gorgeous. Oh, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these row by row, so let's go ahead and start that. So this is the first row. Right here we have the first shade. Since they don't have names, I'm just going to have to point and describe. So this one is kind of like a taupey brown kind of color with a pink shift to it. I love it. It's gorgeous. And then these two are two of the mattes. They're very similar in tone, but the first one is a little warmer, I'd say, a little more orangey, and it does have more of a satin finish than a matte. And then this one is a little more just like neutral brown tone with a little bit of warmth. And then this one is the brightest of them all, and it is more of like that foiled finish, and it is gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of Makeup Geek's foiled shadow in the shade In the Spotlight, actually. So this is row 2. This one's also kind of like a duochrome. It's kind of like a peachy pink with a slight gold reflect to it. It's gorgeous. This one is your typical kind of bronzy gold. This one's like a nice fiery red shimmer shade. And then this one's also kind of like a foil, and it's like a nice orangey bronze with a tiny, tiny bit of glitter in it. These are absolutely beautiful. And so here is the last row. These two shimmers are probably like the least impactful, but you can build them up and they do get a little more shimmery. This one's kind of like a reddish browny bronze, I guess. And then this one's just like a nice reddish kind of matte. This one's more of like a matte with a shimmery topper to it. I don't know how to explain it. It's not completely shimmer and it's not completely matte, so I guess it's kind of more of like a satin. I can put it in the crease if I need to. It's like a chocolate brown with like a goldish reddish sheen to it. And then this is just like a nice deep cool tone brown. This palette does retail for $20, and I definitely think it's worth it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and the quality is amazing. They do have sales often, I believe, so you can get these for discounted prices most of the time. I highly, highly, highly recommend this palette. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the quality is unbeatable. It really is. The quality is phenomenal, especially for the price. I cannot say enough good things about this palette or this brand as of now. I will have the Nubian palette linked down below in case you're interested in checking it out. I'm still testing out the Saharan 2 palette, so I will have a review of that coming soon. I'm not sure when though, so make sure you hit the bell so you know when it's uploaded. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this review and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe, please feel free, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.